Hey, what's going on, good people? Armand on here once again with another episode of the Daily Unsung Leadership Nugget. And today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about, hey, if you want to mess up this leadership thing, you should make sure you do these things. And the number one thing that you should make sure you do if you want to mess up this leadership thing is fail to establish expectations. That is probably at the head of the snake of all the problems that new leaders deal with is setting expectations. We will make generalized statements about what we want. I want you guys to perform well. We really need to knock this inspection out of the park. We have to do better. And we make these generalized statements and make assumptions that our people know what we want. And then when our people don't do what we want them to do, we get upset because we never told them what to actually do. We never set any clear, explicit expectations about what we wanted to happen. One of the things I remember very clearly for me as a young sailor is when my chief and my first class got together to establish our maintenance schedule. It never amounted to, hey, we're going to do this day, this day, this day, and make sure that we are done with all, to make sure it's scheduled in a manner, in an order that allowed all of the work to get done during that week. It was just, hey, we got this to get done. This is what we're going to do. And more often than not, we would get to Friday. We would have to clean up ship, do our field day. And we're still engaged in weekly maintenance, monthly maintenance, well into the evening time on Friday. Because my leaders failed to apply any level of thoughtfulness to how things should be done. So I learned those lessons for me, myself, when I became the chief of my own division. I set extremely clear expectations about what I wanted. Mondays, all weeklies will be completed. Actually, let me rewind, right? Friday, when there is no work, there is no maintenance that should be happening based on, the expectations that I set. The previous day, the weekend section will do all the tag outs and the WAVs in preparation for the next week. So all that writing, that research, all that stuff is done for the week. So when we come in Monday, it's a matter of getting those things approved. But all weeklies will be done by Monday. By Tuesday, all monthlies should be done. By Wednesday, Thursday, any annuals, any semi-annuals, annuals, or any large level, maintenance, 24 months, 36 months, we typically try to schedule within those time frames to take the beginning of the week to make sure all those things are already approved, get through all the issues, no problems, right? And sometimes, when you're dealing with big maintenance that affects other divisions and other teams, you have to make sure the planning works with what other people are doing. But generally, this is how I try to schedule things so that by the time we got to Friday, we got together, we made sure our spaces were clean, we did our field day, and we were out of here. 4-day work week. Typically when we report, I managed a 4-day work week simply because I set expectations for what I wanted to happen in my division as it pertained to maintenance. Now, things come up, things break, right? But that also gives you enough bandwidth. That planning gives you enough bandwidth to deal with the things that come unexpectedly, right? Because you already know what to expect. I got this to do, I got this to do, I got this to do, and you've built in time to account for the unexpected because you've applied thoughtfulness as a leader, because you've looked at, hey, what needs to happen, and you've communicated that to your people. And solicited feedback to make sure that everybody understood it. You set those expectations early and often, and you repeat them over and over and over and over again. A lot of times, leadership can be boiled down to saying the same thing over and over again. You have to get over that fear immediately as a leader. You will be repeating the same things over and 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 over again. Just how it happens. Now, obviously not the same way, but you have to remember that you're communicating with people that have different temperaments, that have different personalities, that have different skill sets, right? So everybody hears things differently. So you have to learn the art of changing words around and speaking to people in a way that they understand it. Because you may say it the way that you understand it, but guess what? They may not understand what you're talking about. They may not understand the full breadth of your expectations. So you find yourself saying the same things over and over again, just in a different way, right? But that is, if you want to fail as a leader, don't set any expectations for anything. Don't be thoughtful. Don't take time to sit down and consider how you want things to run. What is a perfectly run division look like? What are those attributes? What are those characteristics? If this thing went perfectly, what happened? What occurred? What made it go perfectly? And then work backwards. That's how you establish your expectations. Figure out what the end goal looks like. Hey, I want to be able to achieve an above average or an excellent on this expectation. Well, most inspections have checklists. You take that checklist and you make sure that you meet all the guidelines of that checklist. It just requires a little bit of thoughtfulness. But 99% of leaders don't do it. 99% of leaders will not set expectations. They will not be explicit in their thought process about what they expect for their people. They won't, because we are lazy in thought a lot of times. We think things just should happen. We think we operate on assumptions. Well, people have gotten to this level, so they should know how to do these things. I've said it once, they should understand. I've already told you the number one word you need to eliminate from your repertoire as a leader is should. Don't make those assumptions. Set clear, concise expectations and refine them over time if you find that they're not working. But you have to be thoughtful about it. And when I mean thoughtful, you have to sit back and think about what is going to make this thing work the way that it should work. What is going to make my division succeed? What does the perfect scenario look like? And then work backwards. Begin with the end in mind. Work backwards from that standpoint and begin to establish expectations and behaviors. Put behaviors in place for your people that get you to that ultimate goal. Yes, it does take time. Yes, it is a hard thing. Yes, you may have to collaborate with other leaders that have done this. That's what leadership is about. It's not about you necessarily having the right answer all the time. Sometimes you can have to reach out and be resourceful. So, if you want to mess up this leadership thing, don't set any expectations, because I can guarantee you that you're going to have to fight. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be angry all the doggone time, because your people have no idea what you want, and they're just doing the best they can with the information that you have given them as the leader. Congratulations. You have just messed up this leadership thing by not setting any expectations. Don't do that. Share, like, let's talk, comment about the video. Let me know what you think. If you agree, let me know. If you don't agree, still let me know. Every day, trying to get better. Unsung Leader out. Peace.